So we've reached the end of another Battlegrounds season, the season number 10, which was an interesting season. I wasn't a huge fan of the metas, either of them in the Victory Track or the Gladiator Circuit, but they weren't awful. It was the season after they had had extra rewards in the milestones for solo objectives and for the Alliance ones, due to having Alliance War been down. So there were a lot more people pushing last season than this season, which brought down some of the scores, and some of the numbers I think were a little lower. That said, I ended up at 2588 for my solo score thing, and I think that was Arcane 3, because it drives me nuts when Yuki calls me Gamarin. So I'm Arcaren, not Gamarin. And I would have loved to have pushed to get to Arcane 1 as I did last season, as we can see here in the previous video. But I just kind of ran out of time. I wasn't feeling good the last couple days too, so I just got over 100 points on the final day, and that got me to Arcane 3. So, you know, it sucks to be like 1,000 spots off of that, but it's not that big a deal. Still got some pretty good rewards out of it. Would have loved those extra 1,000 7-star shards, but, you know, things happen. So, not too upset with that, as long as I don't end up in Gamma. I'm going to deal with Yuki calling me Gamarin. So, fine there. For the, that's the Alliance one, I'll get to that in just a second. For my solo score, I got to 76, which was actually a lot higher than I expected to be, but I put up about 1 million points, I think, for the solo score. We can go look at that real quick here. Yeah, oh no, so 909,000, it looks like, was my score there, so not bad. So not bad, that worked out to, as we saw there, 76th. And yeah, there are a lot of 7-star shards in that. There's also another generic awakening gem. Last season, where was I at? Last season for the solo ones, I was 379 there. So that's the gem rather than the, or it's the crystal rather than the awakening gem, and fewer sig stones and fewer 7-star shards. So I was happy to bump up a level there. That cost me about 3k units for Elder Marks, but I was doing that for the Alliance either way. So no big deal there. So we can see for the Alliance event, we ended up in 8th, which was fantastic. We were 11th last season, and it was very disappointing to miss out on those top 10 rewards. It's just not a huge difference, but that's what we're designed to be. We're designed to be a top 10 Battlegrounds Alliance. You should only be in BG's OnlyFans if you're big fans of playing Battlegrounds a lot. And we want people who are going to go above and beyond the minimum. We have a minimum for a reason. You hit it, you get the rewards, that's fine, but we want people who are going to push above and beyond too, because one of these days it'd be nice to be top 5, get even better rewards. But we'll take that for this season. Got some more trophy tokens, some selectors here. As you can see, this will, I believe, put me to my another catalyst there. And wait, is that quite enough, or do we need slightly more? Oh, we need slightly more. Well, okay. That puts me to enough to form a mutant catalyst, and that's going to be a rank 2 bishop, I believe. So that'll be awesome. So yeah, we'll take all that. Not bad. I think the Alliance did great in this season. We can go check out where our score was again here too, with the, so we can see there the 22,165,000. And a special shout out to Only Hayes up there. First time getting the first place spot, just beating out Big Evil. They were going back and forth on points there at the end. I know the two of them, I think, were top 10 too for just overall scores. They put up a big score there. Lorson doing awesome as he also always does. Gloria Man kicking butt. Ace down there too. We really only had one person who didn't get there, and it was pretty sad because it's somebody I'd played with for quite a while. And it sucked to have to boot him. So, but the rest of the Alliance did great. What else did I want to cover today? I guess, I don't know. I don't think that gives me enough to open anything, because I just recently opened a 7-star crystal. Haven't even uploaded that video. I think that was just last night. Yeah, so 73, 75. Not bad. We'll get to another one pretty soon here. As far as other things go, I was just going to take a brief look at what the nodes are for next season, because we did have that information drop today as well. And we got our overview here. It says season 11 will be our first season with seeding. Too many S's. Season 11 will be our first season with seeding and attacker buffs. For more information about seeding, please review our post about season 10. It begins September 13th as expected, only 1 week break. I love that. I don't like when they do the 2 week breaks. And ends October 11th. Say hello to attacker buffs. For season 11 and future seasons, we'll be testing, giving the attacker more tools. Can I open this bigger? Yes, okay. So buff 1, fully operational tech champions cannot have their ability accuracy lowered whenever tech attackers gain an armor up buff or inflict an armor break debuff. Removing one of the defender's prowess effects. Whenever tech attackers remove a prowess, they gain Fury passive, granting 10% attack over 20 seconds. Max stacks 20. So you want to go quickly. Not sure how many of those you'll actually be able to stack, but it doesn't seem terrible. Get my head out of the way for the rest of this. Landing the same type. So combat. Oh, these are the defender ones. So this is what we're going to be for the victory track meta. Combat Deja Vu Prowess. Landing the same type of basic attack twice in a row grants the defender a prowess buff, increasing special attack damage by 50% for 10 seconds. Just don't get hit by those. That's probably not that big a deal. Prowess Puncture. Each time the defender gains prowess, they also gain a non-stacking passive impact charge, granting 20% block penetration for 5 seconds. That's gonna hurt. That's not gonna be cool. The attacker starts with their spear gauge 50%. Okay, so that doesn't sound like a terrible meta. You're gonna have those specific champs with armor breaks that you're gonna want in there, or tech champions taking away all that prowess, that kind of stuff. Squishy champions, I'm not sure how Rocket's going to do. He does do armor break, but he's going to be squishy. We'll see. It doesn't sound like the worst meta. You can also play around that. You can do medium, light, medium, heavy, medium, light, medium, heavy again and again, and you're going to keep those prowesses from stacking up. This is a buff they have in Alliance War. Doesn't sound terrible. So then in the Gladiator circuit for the first couple weeks, which I honestly never make it to, it's going to be the same thing, but then added in, we'll have Rise to Power 2. Whenever the defender is knocked down, a 4-second timer starts. While active each time the defender lands a hit or strikes into the block, they gain 30% of a bar of power. Yeesh, that does not sound fun, honestly. Because you do maybe want to knock them down pretty often. Yeah, I guess you could just back off for that, but it doesn't sound great. And then for weeks 3 and 4, the ones that I care more about because that's where I usually actually get to the Gladiator circuit, we'll be doing escalating prowess. So that's more prowess. Interesting. Every 5 seconds, the defender gains an indefinite prowess buff, increasing special attack damage by 10%. Okay. Prowess protection. For each prowess effect active on the defender, reduce incoming damage by 5%. That could be pretty annoying, but again, I guess we're probably just sticking to tech champions. Window of opportunity stun. The defender starts with the fight stun immune. Okay. Whenever they would be stunned, the attackers instead stun for 4 seconds. The immunity lasts for 12 seconds, then goes to cooldown. So basically playing stun immune style or having some other way to get around that, like Herc. And then this final one, attacker starts with the spear gauge 50%. Okay. So those sound interesting, but it sounds like a very tech heavy Battlegrounds season. We'll see how that favors some people against others. And yeah, might be some mismatches in deck size because of that. They say, looking ahead to season 12, we wanted to equip you with the tools to plan your rank ups ahead of time. I like that. That's a good thing. We will do our best to have 2 seasons worth of meta information available at any given time. That's awesome because they didn't have this season 11 information until just today, and we're only a few. We have like 1 more level up, but it would have been nice to have previously for a couple of them. So I like that they're trying to do that. Please keep in mind that as this season is over a month away, we reserve the right to change the meta if deemed necessary. Okay, yeah, cool, good. Is unlikely, but please understand the fluid nature of live game operation. It's good. So then they have the tactics for the next season. And do we want to get into this? I feel like we can do this in a separate video, but they have that information there. Maybe it'd be good to lock it in when they actually are sure about it so that they're not changing it. So yeah, it's good to have that information out. If you want a link to this forum post, I will provide it in the comments of this video down below. And I think that'll do it, guys. I don't think there's a lot else to cover. Pretty solid season from 4BGs. Shout out to my boys. They did it, you know, for glory.
For glory!
And it was awesome. So we'll just keep pushing, trying to get top 10, trying to get the same kind of rewards for next season, and we'll see how it goes. It's going to be exciting because the next season will be going on when the meetup in Vancouver is going on and the Battle Realm Brawl. So yeah, that'll be interesting. See how that affects scores with some of the top players being at the meetup and everything. That'll do it for this video, guys, though. I will see you soon. Cheers.